You're muted, Amir.
There we go. Is that better?
Yeah, now I can hear you.
All right, good, good, good. I'm moving, man, to my from my indoor office to my outdoor office. So I am running. Just finished
Look,
another call. How are you today?
I'm good. Looks like you're on the beach.
Oh my goodness. I wish.
On the
It's
beach in
always
Ohio.
oh my gosh. No, I'm in Southern California. That's the hard part because I could easily be at the beach. I don't know how much work I would get done though.
Well, yeah, I try working outside like that, but my devices get hot.
Oh, okay.
So
Yeah,
then they like, okay, we can't work anymore because we're hot. So
yeah.
you got to go inside where it's cool.
That is good. That is good. So you're in the great state of Houston.
Yeah, the great state of Houston. Yeah, Houston, Texas.
That thing is big, man. That thing is big.
Some
That
states
is so
aren't as
funny.
big as Houston. You're
I
right.
know, I know, I know. So my uncle, I have an uncle who lived there and moved to North Carolina, but I still have an aunt and two cousins that live in Houston.
Okay, nice.
And so my cousin lives in so one's in Pearland.
Okay.
And the other one, she's on the other side of town, in like the Spring Conroe area.
Yep, that's the complete opposite of Pearland.
Man, that is a drive. That's like driving from the west side of LA to the valley.
I look at it like driving from Dayton to Cincinnati.
Mm.
Because when I was there, I'm like, I could drive this distance and be in Houston and not leave Houston.
Right, 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 right. Now, what do you know about Dayton and Cincinnati?
So that's how we connected. I
Okay,
was looking for a realtor up there. When I came up there, I was up there the 4th of July.
okay, okay.
So I grew up in Dayton, Ohio.
Really? Okay,
Yeah,
so did I. Now, where did you grow up?
on Decker,
On which one?
Decker,
Okay, okay,
Decker
okay.
and Third Street.
Yeah, 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 yeah.
You know
Yeah.
about that, huh?
I know all about that. So Third and Gettysburg.
Yep.
So Gettysburg used to be, you could go from one end to the other. So I grew up in off of Philadelphia Drive.
Okay.
So I was 5 minutes. I grew up 5 minutes from Elder Beerman, and
So
but
you know where Valerie Elementary School
yeah, I
is?
went to Valerie, my
I did
whole
too.
elementary.
I only went there, I think it was seventh and eighth grade, because
Really,
they started busing. So I lived on Decker. I used to go to Jackson, and they tore
really.
Jackson down, and then they started segregation. Not segregation. What was it called?
But it was busing
Integration.
again. But you know what?
Then they
That's
bused us over to Valerie. So that was my
really.
first interaction with people of another race, because Jackson was all black. And the girl across the street from me, she couldn't go. It was like they divided it right down the middle of my street. So she had to go to one school and I had to go over to Valerie. And that
What
was my first interaction with another race. Yeah.
really? So what year did you come out of school?
So I graduated high school in 78.
Really?
So
Okay,
this
so I
had to
got
be
cool.
75, 74.
So that's
No,
interesting because I was in
76.
the first class. Originally I was on Walton off of Western.
Yeah.
I lived on Walton and Western, and I
My
got bused
stepmom
to
lived
Valerie.
there.
I got bused to Valerie, and then we moved up the street from Valerie.
Really?
Yeah,
So what
but I
year was
started
that?
out. So I'm saying 72, maybe 72, 73,
So you graduated high school when?
and 84.
Okay.
84.
Yeah, we
But
wouldn't have
when you
been in the
said
same.
busing, I was like, that's exactly what happened to me because I started out. We literally were told since we were tots, we were going to Westwood and went to
Hmm.
Gardendale for kindergarten
Hmm.
and
Hmm.
first grade, I think, maybe first and second grade. Um, and then we got bus to Valerie.
Wow.
But when you said that, I thought about my brother because I think he came out in '88. So we were up the street, like walking distance from Valerie, and then
Mm-hmm.
he ended up getting bused to Fairport, which is off of Gettysburg.
Fairport.
Yeah.
Fair.
So if you know where Gettysburg and you know where the bridge is, so I'm talking south now.
Fairview. Fairview.
No, so I know what Fairview is, but there's a
No?
middle school called Fairport. So
Okay.
if you're doing down Gettysburg towards Third Street, but you're coming from Salem, there used to be a IGA Plaza right there.
Yeah. Yeah.
So right behind that IGA, if you keep going towards Third Street, oh, what street is that? So it was a big apartment complex right there on just off of Gettysburg and oh man. But it was in yeah, don't make
Not
me
Hoover. Not Hoover,
no,
right?
no, not Gettysburg. So I know, yeah, not so I'm on the other side. So like going towards the mall, like going towards Free Pike. So Free Pike and Gettysburg.
Okay.
Then the next major street,
Not Denlinger. Not that.
nope, you're going the other way. You're going back towards Third now. If you're going up Gettysburg, and there's a light right there, and then there's a bridge. It used to be a little flower shop right there on Gettysburg, where everybody bought their flowers. When's the last time you?
It's still there.
It is still there.
It's
It is
still
still so.
there. It
Whatever that
looked
street is right there,
yeah.
and there's some apartments right that go right behind that
Okay,
street.
okay. When was the last time you were there?
Uh I think it's going on 2 years. Going on 2 years. I need to get back there. I need to get back there just to be able to see what's happening and what's going on.
Well,
But I was there
I'm
for a
gonna send
while.
you this video that I did while I was there. I had my godson take me on a tour of
Really?
Dayton as if I was, had never, he took me places I never knew existed. Of course, we went to the Oregon district. They redone the river walk down there.
Yeah. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Um, I went to a cigar lounge they got on Third Street. It's called Right Dunbar Cigars. It's really
Yeah.
nice.
Yeah.
They've got an outdoor area, upstairs area. They've got
Really nice.
uh, I don't know what you call it. It's kind of like a food court right across the street from the museum there on Third and like William Street.
The arcade?
No, that's downtown. But this one is on the west side. So they're building some new townhouses there, and he's getting ready to get one of those.
Mm.
No taxes for 15 years on these townhouses. That's something I've never heard of before, but they're trying to incentivize, people to buy there. But this nice little arcade where they have like different restaurants inside. It's not the
Hmm.
arcade, but it's called West Social. I think that's what it's called.
Oh, I have heard of that. I have heard of that. I haven't been in it.
They were doing karaoke the night me and my brother went, and that was nice. I went and got some of that roasted chicken that I miss so much from
No
Dayton.
place like it. No place like it. I
It
told him,
wasn't the
man, if
same
I
as
could have.
Lou's Roaster Hut, but it was
Right.
Elahlee's Roaster Hut, but it was still
Okay.
good.
Man, oh man. No, that's amazing. It's amazing. I
They
was thinking
got
about
lots of property available there, lots of vacant lots, lots of abandoned houses. So they're trying to revamp it, and that's what I'm
yeah.
trying to, get back into as well.
Okay. Now, how long have you been in Houston?
I've been here, how long we been here? 9 years now? Maybe 9 years. I came in 2005 and left in 2009. Went back to
Mm,
Chicago for a period. Then when my husband retired, 2015, we came back.
came back
Oh,
to
so this is
Houston.
yeah, so it's
It's
11 years
11
now.
years. Okay.
Whew,
Wow.
it's hard to keep up.
I know. It's flying. It is absolutely flying. Well, I
My
know that I.
granddaughter just went to high school. Well, her last year of high school this year today. So I'm like, I can't believe she's 17, about to be 18, and out the house. So
Yeah, that time flies, flies, flies. That time
yes, it
flies,
does.
flies. So tell me about what you're now. Are you with EXP?
Yes.
Okay, good.
How about you?
Good. I
You're with
am. Yeah,
DXP
I'm with
because that's
EXP.
how I found you. I think I went to the BEN network, Black
Mm-hmm.
EXP network, and asked about a realtor in Dayton, Ohio, and you
Okay.
sent me your information. So, or
And I was
somebody sent
prob-
me your information.
I was gonna say yeah, because I'm there. You know what? I was there last year. I take that back. So it's been haven't been quite a year since I've been there. But my mother was sick, and so I left here and went to take care of her before she passed. And so I needed, not that I needed something to do, it's really only one thing I know to do, and that's to sell real estate. So I found another EXP agent. And so anything that I would write, I would just do as a referral.
Okay.
But because, my parents own properties and I got relatives that own properties. And so it's a gold mine for sure. And you were talking about that Third Street corridor, Fifth Street, Williams. Of course, we used to really run the streets and the nightlife over there, and then it was hanging on by a thread, and now they're trying to bring it back. Couldn't believe
Hmm.
some of those houses. I was like, oh my gosh! But I remember leaving. So I've been in Southern California for 38 years.
Oh wow, wow.
Um, yeah. So when I left, I left. Um, I wasn't shoveling no snow. I wasn't putting down no salt for ice. And my daughters, so there's an area here in the mountains that people like to go to in the winter, about an hour drive from here, maybe an hour and a half. And they
Hmm.
got cabins and lakes, and it snows
Hmm.
up there.
So you go
Um,
to the snow instead
no,
of the snow
absolutely
coming to
not.
you.
Absolutely not.
Oh, you
I've
don't
not
even
been.
do that.
No, no. No, my daughters, they are on me to this day. Like, I don't know, you never took us to the snow. And when they got older, because they're 28 and 30, so they go up with their friends and they have cabins, and they open the cabins and have everybody has a different dish in their cabin, and so you go around to each cabin and eat, and they got little snow boots and stuff. I said, man. When I left snow, I left snow.
Yes, you did, didn't you?
They tease me and say, Dad, we're getting ready to come back down. You want us to bring you some snow back? I said, nope. I said, if you do, I hope it melt in the car.
It's gonna be a glass of water when you come back.
So and I was probably answering back then, but I still have folks that are in the business that are there, on the investment side too. I get stuff from them all the time. So it really is a right place to do business. I love it there from a real estate
Hmm.
standpoint. And I know the
Hmm.
houses that I think my mother and them paid, oh my gosh, $9,000, $12,000 on Walton, um,
What was
when
the
we sold
address
it.
on Walton?
1044.
1044.
It
So
was
did you
almost
know
at
the
the end.
Rainies? The Rainies, Carlton Rainey?
I went to school with them and Carlton and Karen.
Yes, that's
So
my
they went to
they're
Valerie.
my stepsister and brother.
Really?
My dad married their mom when my mom died.
Really?
And we went to the
Oh my
same
God.
church and we rode the school bus together.
So they had man. So here's how I remember two things. It seems like it was yellow and black Monte Carlo. I don't know if you remember that, but somebody in that family drove a Monte Carlo that I was absolutely in love with.
Wow.
And then I think Karen was the first, literally, she was the first person to punch me in the face at
Oh,
Valerie on the playground. I just will never forget that. I have not seen her. probably ever. I probably wouldn't know her if I seen her, but I just remember
Oh my
their
goodness.
name and I remember the Monte Carlo. Um, and yeah, she punched me in the face. That was just
So what were you
like
doing? Were you being inappropriate or what? Was she liking you or
you
what?
want to hear how the real story went? So it was a thing
Yeah.
where if you put the stick or if you knocked the stick off my shoulder, it meant you was ready to fight.
Oh.
We had this thing. So if you really wanted to fight, knock the stick off my shoulder. Or if you really thought you were bad, knock the stick off my shoulder. So I didn't knock it off her shoulder. I actually just reached up and lifted it off her shoulder, being a smart aleck, and she punched me anyway.
Oh
This was
wow.
probably like third grade, fourth grade.
Oh my goodness.
Absolutely crazy. But I never forgot. It was funny. And the reason that it's funny, and then we'll get to business, but I've been I've been a smart aleck all my life. And I was like, yeah, I even got punched in the face for being a smart aleck. So I have to watch it. She's a reminder. She's over here on my shoulder going, don't be too much of a smart aleck. You get punched in the face.
Wow. Well, she lives up in Michigan now.
Really?
I saw her mom when I was there. I went by to see her. She's still alive.
Wow.
Uh-huh. And Carlton is living there with his mom. I didn't get to see him. He was at work when I went over there.
Okay.
So, but
Man,
yeah,
I remember them. Yeah, I remember them. 1044. It was
small
quiet,
town Dayton.
small town day. There was one guy that still lived there when I was a little boy. He lived two doors down on Walton. And I know he's gotta have been there probably 60 years on that street. On that end of the street, he may be the last one.
So my brother, the house we grew up on Decker, my brother still lives there.
Really?
Hmm. So we look at the people across the street. You know how back then we knew all of our
You
neighbors.
knew everybody.
Now, I've
Yeah,
been living here and I know a couple people, but not like
not
the
like that.
extent we did then,
Not
right?
like that. I was
Yeah,
just
we had
talking.
front porches and everything. We were outside playing. We cut our own grass and did all that. So we talked to people. Now we have somebody else come in, cut the grass, and don't even hardly go outside. You drive in the garage and disappear in the house until it's time to go back out.
It's time to go back out again. Yep. I know my neighbor, and when we moved over off of Philadelphia by Valerie, um, our last neighbor, we call him the last neighbor from the 70s, just passed away, Mr. Kirby, Mr. Benjamin Kirby. And he was an assistant principal. In fact, he's my older brother's assistant principal and my younger brother's assistant principal, but he was in the school system for years. And
Mm,
so
mm.
he literally just passed away last week, and we said he was the last neighbor from the 70s
Oh, wow.
in that neighborhood.
And what high school did you go to?
I went to Meadowdale.
Meadowdale. Okay. I went
Yeah.
to Stivers Patterson.
Okay.
Stivers and then went to Patterson and
Patterson, yeah, yeah, yeah.
yeah. And
So
now that
Stivers,
building's not even there anymore.
oh my gosh. Yeah, I ended up going to they had built a building. So I actually went half day, my junior and senior year, I would go to the Career Academy. And it was right across the river from Patterson.
Hmm.
And so I'm saying they built that building in the 80s, but they tore it down. So that whole school, yeah, all the schools are new in Dayton. I don't think there are any of the old schools left. I
Well,
think they
that's one
built,
thing. One thing I liked about the schools there, they did prepare you to get out and get a job, because at Patterson, we did the work study. We went to school two
right?
weeks and went to work for 2 weeks for 2 years, year round. And so that's how you know if you want to be in the medical field, if you want to be in distributive education, or if you want to be a mechanic or whatever, because you're
Right?
doing it. And then if you don't want to do it, you go to college and do something else. So I end up staying in medical records because I worked at the health department in the records department, and then I
Really?
went on and went to college, got my medical records degree and certification and all that, and did that for 40 years.
Wow.
And
Oh
then I
man, that's
started
amazing.
yeah, and then I started teaching it, and then I got laid off. And so
Okay.
that's how I got into real estate. So
Okay.
I'm like,
Okay.
okay, well, from this, I did it for 40 years and everything is changing, healthcare, I'm like, let me do something else. So I got into real estate and then I also got my lending license. So I'm also
Okay.
licensed to
Wow.
do mortgages and loans here in Texas. Only in
Okay.
Texas.
Only in Texas.
Yeah, only in Texas.
Now,
I
do
was
you
thinking
do
about
VA
getting in it.
loans?
Yeah, do VA loans.
Okay.
And we do business loans, business purpose loans, SBA loans, anything like that. So
Wow,
I'm
that's
with
excellent.
a brokerage that does more than just mortgages, home mortgages. So we can do
Okay.
loans for almost anything except cars. We don't do cars or personal loans. It has to be a
Right.
business.
Well, it's very good. Very good. That's good to know. That's good to know as well. So I'd love to, I always say, I mean, I have a California license. I am applying for a reciprocal license in Georgia. So any place that I can get a reciprocal and I don't have to take a new test. That was the only thing about getting my license in Ohio is that, man, they want an arm and a leg. It would end
Really?
up being almost 2 grand to get licensed in Ohio.
Oh wow. Well, I won't
Um,
be pursuing that.
yeah, and I was like, why y'all? You act like you. And certainly here in California, you take one test. It's 150 for the test. I think the classes may be $400 if you take them online, and that's about all you need. You can have a up and running business, real estate business in California for less than $1,000.
Hmm.
Um, and I always say it's the easiest thing to get into. But it's good to know because what I have is I have another friend of mine I went to high school with that lives in the Dallas area, and so he has written some deals. But I'll fly down, show properties, look at them, and then I'll just have Eric, write them up, and I'll tell him, hey, here's what we're doing. We want full price plus we want closing costs back, and then he'll write it up uh,
Hmm.
for me. So that keeps him active too, because he does it part time.
Okay, cool.
But yeah, I don't mind flying and showing properties. And so my uncle is moving back to Houston actually. So I may need your help and your services because he's got a specific. Yeah, it's so funny. I was talking to his daughter. I'm like, what? Because I was in Carolina visiting I have an aunt there, and then I drove over and visited him. And I was like, oh my gosh, he's still the same when he used to live in Trotwood. I'm like, man, he tried to cut his own grass. I'm like, you got to be kidding me, right? Oh no, I can do it, I can do it. So my brother and I were there. And so as I said, my brother, it was hot. It's about 2 weeks ago, actually. And so I was like, man, he was like, my brother said, I'll cut the grass and trimmed his hedges and everything. And I said, okay, well, while you're doing that, I'm gonna come in and fix y'all dinner, but I'm gonna be a house Negro today. It's too hot outside.
I know that's right. My best friend lives in Trotwood, and her mom lives on Burley, and
Okay,
she still cuts her grass, and she's 88 years old.
really? Where at on Burley?
Like 943, 900
Okay.
block.
So my cousin lives at 715. He's 91 and he still cuts his own grass, still has a garden in the back.
She has a
And
garden too.
he's
Hmm.
been in that house 60, 63 years, I think. And in the basement, he's still got a basement. You can go down there and get anything canned that you want.
Yep.
You can get
Yep.
beets, tomatoes, preserves, jelly. I told him, I said, when I come here, I just bring a suitcase so I can take stuff back. I
But
told
that's
him,
how they did it in Dayton. My mom used to be a canner and a freezer and all of that stuff. And you just prepared for the wintertime.
you
So,
prepared. My other cousin, his sister that passed away a couple of years ago, she had, I didn't even know, she had deep freezers in her garage. And
mm,
so she would get and can. Oh my gosh, I took so much stuff out. My brother and I were fighting because I had taken the stuff from her house And she had years of stuff. Like she could have lived off of what she had in her garage for years. And I took it to my mom's house. And of course, I flew out and I was like, okay, I'll get it back. I'll come get it. And I went to get it and it was gone. I told my brother, I said, now, we ain't never had a fight, but you got my stewed tomatoes that's in there. I said, you better come up with something. I said, I'm going to your basement because you got some stuff I need to have. So it was so funny, but that's what they
That's,
did.
that's
That's
one
what
thing
they
I
did.
miss about down here is that they don't have basements.
That's true. That's true.
They've got
That
those
is true.
upstairs, they call them game rooms, Texas game rooms or Texas base, but they're
Hmm.
upstairs and they're just open. It's not like storage and shelter well, we don't have tornadoes here in Houston,
Right.
but you know,
But you knew
but
where you're supposed to
hurricane,
go.
yeah, yeah, and it's just a different spot, it's a different feel, the
Hmm.
basement parties and my daughter lived in the basement for a little bit. My brothers lived in the basement. It was just a whole
Oh, we
different
are. We couldn't wait to get old enough to live in the
to
basement.
live in. Exactly.
I tell my children, I said, they said, how did you? So we learned how to skate in the basement in the
Yep,
wintertime.
I
It was
skated
big
in the
enough for
basement.
us to ride our bikes in the basement.
Uh-huh,
And we would
uh-huh.
have some of especially on snow days or because my dad was a teacher, so he would always be up. We didn't have to go to bed, but man, we would be doing all kind of stuff. We'd have parties and
Yep,
skating. We had a ping pong table.
yep. Pool tables, yep,
Yeah, pool table in the basement.
in the basement.
That was the place. That was the place to be.
Uh-huh.
And
I
I
wish they
laughed
had them
because we
here,
couldn't
but
we couldn't be upstairs and mess up nothing.
right. You could do all that stuff in the basement. Con
This
concrete
is
floor.
concrete floor, man. Oh
Did you
man.
did you ever go to Hoover skating rink?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah,
That's where I learned how to skate. I
that
think I
was my
still got
spot
some
on
bruises. I,
Saturdays.
I think I still got some bruises from trying to learn how to skate.
That's
Oh my
funny.
gosh. And we just loved it. And it was so funny when we moved to the north side, northwest, I guess. All of our friends still lived in Westwood. So I got a classmate of mine, and we talked about, man, we would get on our bikes and I would ride up Philadelphia Drive, and we would meet at the bridge on Western.
Hmm.
And so they lived in Westwood, so they lived right near Burley. What's the Leland?
Hmm.
Man, so we would all just meet and we would just hang out the whole day. No cell phones. I said we didn't even have water. So if we wanted water, we would have to go to the
Get a
hose.
hose.
My kids would be looking at me like, you said
You
what?
get water out the hose when you.
The first time I was doing my yard out here and the girls were really small. I had two daughters. And I just grabbed the hose and started drinking. And they
Mhm.
went flying in the house because they had never seen it. Mom, Mom, Dad's drinking out of the hose. Is he gonna die? They thought something was wrong. I said, these are the craziest kids I ever seen.
Our
I
kids
mean,
are
they went
bougie
flying.
now.
They
They're
went
bougie now,
flying.
like
Oh
drinking
my
out the
gosh.
hose. If it don't come out of a bottle or, filter from the refrigerator,
I
we
never
didn't have
seen
all of
bottled
that.
water until I moved to California. I did. I'd
See,
never seen bottled water.
they may not have had it then.
But I just didn't. But when I got here, I saw it. So I was like, yeah, somebody had it, but we sure didn't. Drink
We
water out
didn't.
of a bottle. You better go somewhere. That's crazy. So listen, you want to know about solar. I think that solar is absolutely right. It's a right time. Of
I
course,
do want to hear about your business. Yeah.
so with what's going on in the country, with the wars and things like that. So you see gas is absolutely going up. Um, I gotten into solar. Gosh, now, so two things happen. I work for a nonprofit. as a real estate manager, and we were doing low income housing, affordable housing, and what we were doing is that it was for sale housing, and we were adding solar onto the homes to make them more affordable. So that's how I really got introduced to solar.
Okay.
Um, and it just grew from there. And then someone introduced me to power solar as a way to continue to connect with my past clients. So it was, again, my clients trusted me. So it was easy to, it wasn't easy, but it was a great introduction. Hey, have you thought about this? So I was able to stay in contact with my past clients. And I would do 3, 4 deals a year. And then it started getting more. And then I got into the commercial side. So I did solar for my church here just before they changed all the rules. Um, and then when the fires hit for Southern California, then a lot of those homes are going to have, or it's almost like it's not a free upgrade, but they passed a law that all new construction in Southern California had to have solar. So I think that happened like in
Really?
2020. If you build a new home here, it must have solar.
Really?
So that then really spurred me. And then, of course, with the fires and the homes that are being rebuilt, then all of those initially were going to have solar. And then the governor signed a um, executive order where now they have to be solar ready instead of have the solar. And I'm saying you're only one step away. If it's already solar ready, you just need to add the panels. I'm gonna run in the house because it looks like somebody is cutting a tree down. Uh, but what that did was it actually allowed, but the insurance policies have a code upgrade clause, or most of them. And so I've been helping people take advantage of the code upgrade clause to go solar, and it's going to save people. So Southern California Edison has admitted that they were incorrect, or they were a part of the cause of the fire in Altadena.
Who
And
admitted that?
Southern California Edison,
The power company.
the power company, admitted that it was their line that caused the fire.
Oh.
So Altadena was a historically and predominantly Black community north of Pasadena. And it got to be that way because Black people were not permitted to buy property in Pasadena.
Hmm.
And so they settled in Altadena because it was the county of Los Angeles, and they were able to afford properties, man, and just built a thriving community,
Mm-hmm.
thriving Black community predominantly. And then as time went on, people started to see where it was a little sleepy town. And like they always do, they come and try and gentrify. Um, like we were talking about, I had never
Mm-hmm.
seen white folks walking dogs on 3rd Street um, until the last, or 5th Street and Williams.
Yes.
I'm like, what
They
is white people doing down here? Really?
they all down there now.
They're all down there. And so we saw a little bit of that in Altadena even before the fires, but lots of African American families, probably of the people that lost homes, 80%, I'd maybe say 85% were Black folks.
Mm.
And then of that 85%, wow, 70%, 75% were elderly, like over 70.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so it's just it's interesting. My mother-in-law, My wife lost her childhood home, or ex-wife lost her childhood home. And at 84, she just never, none of these folks ever planned to build a house from the ground up.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm working with them, nonprofit. A couple people from my church actually started a nonprofit with a couple of contractors to help, number one, keep Black contractors and architects and engineers as a part of this rebuild, but two, just to help people that are stuck. So one lady, we held a community meeting, and she just broke down and cried and just said, I just retired. Um, I've got trips booked for the next year and a half or 2 years. I don't even know where I'm going to live. I know I'm going to Spain, next year, but I don't know where I'm going to live. And so, it's those stories that drive me. And I think that because they've admitted, the electric company has admitted that they're going to, and they're paying out settlements, like huge settlements. Individuals, there's a bunch of lawsuits, of course, that are happening. But what happens is they pass that cost on to the consumer.
Mm-hmm.
And so one of the things that we understand too, as being in this business now, is that there are huge lobbyists on. So like the current administration um, got rid of all of the tax incentives for solar. So it used to be
Yeah.
in solar, you would get 30% tax rebate or tax discount, depending on how you file your taxes. And so they eliminated that. They eliminated it for um, electric vehicles. And so it's just anti, but we all know that this is driven by lobbyists because like for instance, Edison has never been, is the electric company, they've never been denied a rate increase. Every time they apply for a rate increase, they get it.
Mm.
So what we're saying is now it's going to be passed on the consumer. They're going to pay out a lot of money, but
Wow.
they had already built in their request for rate increases before the fires. So they knew that the rate has been going up. It's probably gone up 20% over the last 15 years.
Mm-hmm.
And it's going to keep going up. So two things that I think make sense. Number one is to be able to get folks on the renewable. And in actuality, um, they were really making it hard in Texas, of course, because of the oil,
Mm-hmm.
but they were making it really difficult. And then, of course, when there was the big blackout or the grid went down, and Ted Cruz was in Mexico, then the light kind of got shown on what people were really doing and what they were missing out on. So it's a little bit more lenient now, or acceptable,
Mm-hmm.
to go solar in Texas, but it's not easy. They don't make it easy in order
So
to
we've
do it.
got these communities, these big solar farms here, but the grid, the energy is going to the grid and not to the individuals. So in
Mm-hmm.
some states, the community solar goes to the individuals, and they can have a grid, and it'll help decrease their price. But in Texas and Florida, they didn't accept the money or whatever, or the deal, and so they're not going to do that. So we don't have that. We don't have community solar here, just regular solar on their home, and then we've got home batteries now that we're starting to do.
Yeah.
So that's going to help out a lot. I actually have two friends getting their batteries installed, one tomorrow and one Friday.
Wow. Okay. Now, are you working with a solar company?
Not a solar company, it's with Think Energy.
Okay.
So they're a utility company through EcoFlow.
Wow. Tell me about that because I'm not familiar.
EcoFlow is the name of uh, the company that does the batteries. And
Oh,
then Think Energy is a utility provider. So we're in like 17 states, Illinois, Ohio. Some states we have electricity, some we have auto save, and some we have community solar. So I'll send you a video that'll explain each of those
okay.
um, in a little bit more detail than I have time to explain it here. But they explain it a lot better than I than I do.
Right,
But
right.
some of the people that are in it are solar salespeople like yourself. So if they,
Mhm.
their house is not ready for solar, they can't, they have to have a certain credit score or their roof is not the right pitch or whatever, then that's
Mhm.
another option that they can offer them to save them some money.
Right, right.
So what
Okay.
what do you do when the home doesn't qualify for your product?
So, a couple of things have happened recently, or over the last couple of years. Um, so first, we were doing primarily sales, especially when rates were low. So we could do. We were at rates that literally we were doing 1.49 to 2.99 financing for solar systems, and we were including batteries. Two things happened again. They changed. So again, going back to the lobbyist piece, which you may or may not be familiar with, but here in California, they actually used to be able to sell energy back to the electric companies at 27 cents a kilowatt.
Hmm.
Well, they passed a law that basically took that 27 cent down to as low as 4 cent,
Hmm.
um, called net metering 3.0. It was the craziest thing. So we protested. It said, listen, you're taking money out of the pockets of citizens who are going solar. And almost at the same time that that happened, of course, inflation started to kick in. So those systems that we were able to get for 2.99 now at 7%, 6.5%, 7%, 7.5% on consumer financing just wasn't feasible. So a lot of people went to PPO, I think it's PPO, the lease program. And and at the same time, my mom was getting sick. So I really walked away because I didn't want to sell my clients a house and then tell them in terms of building generational wealth and then turn around and tell them, okay, but I want you to lease this solar system. I was like, that doesn't make sense. Um, so it really became unaffordable. A lot of people moved to the lease model. And so what we do now, if they don't qualify, then of course, because of my background in nonprofit and affordable housing, there's only really one or two reasons. Either you don't have the credit or you don't have the bandwidth or the hmm, debt ratio to in order to do it. So we'll look at
Hmm.
paying off bills and improving credit so that they can actually qualify in order to save this money because we're saving people at least 50% on their bills, and a lot of times we're wiping out. With all my new construction stuff, we're basically saying I can go back and get an idea of what you were using. A lot of people are building what they call like for like because it,
Hmm.
it gets it through the process of permitting faster if you're building like for like.
Hmm.
So I can go back and look at their previous bills online and get an idea of how much they were using and then
Hmm.
build the system from there. But if they're not, and what has happened is that they're lowering the standard too. It's almost like if you're familiar with when they started doing subprime loans. Not saying
Hmm.
that that's what they're doing here, but they just keep lowering the credit in order to be able to stay in business and keep moving projects.
Is that how you got into the credit repair? And are you actually doing the credit repair, or are you referring them to someone that does the credit?
I used to, but I refer it out now. Oh my gosh. So that was my first book called On the Road to a Good Credit Future, which I wrote, actually, it was 30 years ago. It's
Oh, wow.
self-published and it was so funny. My first book was written on a floppy disk. Um,
You dating yourself now,
I am dating myself. It was on a floppy disk.
like a reel to
Um,
reel, huh?
yeah,
Oh boy.
yeah, exactly, exactly. I always tell them I was the remote control. What are you talking about? I used to
Yeah.
be like, boy, get up and go turn the channel. Go turn to channel 7. So I know how it works. I still stay pretty plugged in with it, but I have a young
Okay.
lady that does it. And so she does education, which is what I like. So
Hmm.
it's not a letter mill type of thing. I know people were getting into it. So she's not a part of a multi-level. She does credit repairs. All she does it herself. She got a team that works with her, but she's not
Okay.
with one of the larger companies. There's 1,000 of them that have taken people's money. So she does that
So,
for me.
so do the people have to pay for it, or does the nonprofit cover that?
So at this point, there are two sides. So there's a side that if I look at it and I can eyeball it and tell you what you need, especially if you're qualifying for a home,
Mm-hmm.
then I know what to do. I
Mm-hmm.
know how to tell you that, hey, take those 7 credit cards that are all maxed out. We're gonna get them down to 10%.
Mm-hmm.
Make sure you're not late. But if there are major things, so that doesn't charge. Or if there's something that's longer term, I'll refer them to the nonprofit that does it. Get them on, a budgeting plan, and they check in every 90 days. So I just stay away from the case management piece. I'll use nonprofits to do that. If something comes up and I need it removed in 10 days and I'm already in escrow, or something that's major, then she can do it, and there is a fee. So I had a girl who had a. So we're doing 1% down. Uh, we were doing 1% down on a program. She had a $7,000 something that showed up like at the last minute. It showed up at title though. It didn't show up on her credit report. No,
That's
no, no, I
crazy.
take that back. It's different. It's different. It's a different case. It showed up on her credit report before we were ready to close. They were running her final credit report and it showed up. And so she paid, it was like $2,500. But it was gone in 10 days. And
Wow.
my girl says if it comes back, we'll get it removed, free of charge. We're not gonna charge you again. So she's
Wow.
good. She's good.
Okay. Okay. Yeah, I have a nonprofit credit repair that I refer people to. I'm like you. I can look at it and tell you exactly, get your credit cards down, pay your stuff on time, get become a authorized user on somebody else's
Right,
credit card that has good
right,
credit,
right.
and then just give it some time and let it work out. I'm working with the person now and we're doing that.
Mm-hmm.
So that's good to know. So I don't know if you noticed, but I also run a nonprofit, Charlene Crosby International School, which is my mother-in-law's school that she started over in Ghana, and it has over
Mm.
500 students there now. So I'm doing the Think Energy as a way of funding that school. And so I am
Wow.
also looking for ways to help out the community. And I like your idea of the housing. So I would love to learn how we could, start doing something like that,
Okay.
either here in Texas or in Ohio.
Well, I just got hired by a nonprofit to do consulting. So you mentioned that, so here's what they want to do. So they're based in Koreatown, beautiful Korean folks. They are believers, and so we definitely connect on that level. And so what we're doing is we have a project that we're doing in one of the cities here that has down payment assistance where we're going to buy the land and then put on an affordable mobile home, manufactured home, mobile home. Because there's a ton of mobile home manufacturers here in the West Coast, especially Arizona, Arizona, but Southern
Hmm.
California has a bunch as well. Between manufactured homes and tiny homes is what we're looking to build communities with.
Hmm.
Um, and then we're going to add solar to them, and then we'll add solar to the common spaces
Hmm.
as well.
All
So
that's in the plans. Yep.
yeah, so I'm really excited about it. It's kind of a new era. I always thought it would just be residential for me and just helping people. But as we start looking at building, villages and building that kind of thing, it really does make sense. So when you said Ghana, yeah, it gave me a little bit of a chill because that's the other part of it that we really haven't talked about. And that is, yeah, I'm an international missionary. Um,
Oh,
and have
nice.
been. So I've been to South Africa, I've been to Brazil. Then we've been to Costa Rica, Jamaica. My daughters go. We always laugh. I was like, I think you guys got more trips than I got. But our church is
My daughter
really,
too.
yeah, my church is really international missionary focused. And so we
Oh,
do
nice.
leadership training and development for Zambia, um, some of the other smaller provinces in South Africa. So we're always, literally just started talking to them this year about housing. Like, okay, what are we going to do? Because now we've got housing, we can do solar
Hmm.
with them as well. So let's talk about that. I'd love to, if nothing else, just give you my ideas on how we
Yeah.
might
Can
be
you
able.
guys do solar in Ghana? Your company?
I don't know. They don't. I'm going to say probably not, but it doesn't mean that it can't be done. Because I literally started going outside of that company trying to figure out how to help folks.
Hmm.
So I got manufacturers that I'm talking to. Yeah, it's not impossible. It
Hmm.
is not impossible. We'll figure it, and that's why I was thinking about because we're building. So the quick story is that my mentor at my old church, where I actually installed the solar, left and started his own church. Now he's building a new building, so I'm going to do covered solar parking for the
Hmm.
new church, and we're going to do
Hmm.
some EV stuff. But I'm meeting more and more builders and manufacturers of solar panels and things like that, and so what I've been really just toying with is just going directly to the manufacturers
Hmm.
and simply saying, "Hey, here's a project." So when we have a project like what you're talking about, or some of the schools, there's a man. This is these folks from Texas that are missionaries in. I cannot. It's a small African village um, that does not have. Um, so they have no social security type systems for children. So children who are born that with either learning disabilities or physical disabilities are basically just thrown away. They are left. So they will take if the kid has any type of noticeable um, deformation, they do not keep these kids. And so
What do
this
they do with them?
They so at one point the belief is that they would kill him. But over
Oh,
the years, this family, this couple from Texas, have basically opened up orphanages for those kids. So now they drop them off.
in
Um,
Texas?
no, no, no. This is in Africa. They're
Oh, in
from Texas.
Africa.
The couple
But
is
they're
from
African.
Texas.
Okay. Okay.
Ken and Jana, I think their last name is Lackey, Lackey. But man, so I'm always thinking about them because they have 24-hour care of some of these kids. So kids that have MS or kids that have, if it's spina bifida or, any kind of disease, because of their culture, of course, cultural mindset, something's wrong
Yeah.
with the kid. So
Yeah.
they basically have an orphanage where these kids can be dropped off, and then they got a network of churches where the kids can be dropped off from the different villages.
Hmm.
Um, and so it's incredible, but they need it. So if you have a project that you're actually working on or something that's already there, then let me take a look at it. I always, even though, listen, it don't look like it, but I believe in fasting and praying. Um, and I just believe God will give us an idea or a solution to a problem that will be able to help nations, and
Wow,
that's what we're called to do.
it kind of makes our project seem small now that you tell me about what the lackeys are doing, but
Oh,
uh ours is for a kitchen build over at the school because when she built it, it was only built for 6 girls to learn how to sew. And now it's got over 500 students there. And when we went there last year and saw where they were feeding them lunch and cooking under the steps, we're like, oh no, they need a kitchen for all these kids and everything.
right,
So
right,
that's
right.
our project. So we're getting quotes now on how much it would be to build a kitchen there. And so far, we've gotten 2 quotes, one for 35,000 and one for 30,000.
Okay,
So and everything that they've needed, we've been able to give them. They needed a bus, we got them a bus. They need infrastructure things done around the place. We sent them money for that. Actually, I got to send them some money now for some desks so that they can get started for the next school year.
mm,
So, I mean, and we don't have
Pastor,
that much money. We don't have that kind of money in our, because we just started our nonprofit last year, but we're going
right.
to, try to get some grants and, try to rattle our cup other places and see who can help us out. Maybe we can find a company that wants to sponsor it. But in this kitchen that we're going to build, we were talking about putting solar on top of it.
Okay.
So that's kind of where you
If you
guys would
let
come
me
in.
know, if you put that into the plan, you let me know exactly what it looks like. Yeah, like I said, we'll pray and figure it out. I'm thinking of Pastor Ray Johnson. He's a missionary there that one of my churches supported. Um, and he's been in Ghana for years.
Oh, yeah.
His name is Johnson. Is it P. Ray Johnson? I got to find it. Um, but it's networking. We all
Yeah,
had the
yeah.
same goal. But if I can introduce you to him, I've never met him. I've always supported certainly his work online, and I know recently he recently lost his wife. Um, but they're huge supporters of missions and work in Ghana. So but you tell me, so 30 to 35,000, and then solar on top of that. We'll figure out how to get some donations, or I know one company that I'm working with here in the San Diego area. Uh, I actually went to meet with them because they had done a project I wasn't really pleased with. And every time I got ready to really kind of voice my displeasure, I just believe it was the Holy Spirit just wouldn't let me, um, act out of character because I sure was ready. Um, and so I ended up going down to meet with them. And her mother was suffering from dementia and had a stroke. And that's the same story with my mom before she passed. And so I was really able to encourage her and her siblings. And so she's got, I think, two other siblings like I did. And she's kind of the major caregiver like I
Mm,
was. And so we had so
mm-hmm,
much synergy there.
mm-hmm.
And I was like, oh, Lord, I'm glad I listened to you this time because I would, I'm not a profane person, but I know how to tell people off and let them know they've been cut, without being. And so he just didn't allow me to do that, and I praise God that. And so it really cemented a really good relationship for us,
Okay, good,
and
good.
understood what was going on. So they come to mind right away. Um, even if we can get panels that are donated. So I'll be on the lookout. I definitely will. And there's
Okay.
another builder. So I'm also working with builders, and I think that's just been the blessing with these fires in Altadena is that
Mm-hmm,
because we're working with builders who need and architects.
mm-hmm,
And so we're basically coming up with just new um, untraditional ways to help people with solar. Like one guy was like, "Hey, I found a place in downtown Los Angeles that actually sells panels,"
mm,
and I was like, "Huh?" So there are all kinds of resources that are coming as a result of this, and so maybe I'll be able to help you. But definitely stay in touch. Let me know what it is that you need and
I
how
would
I
love
can.
that in the ecosystem. We need all these things because I'm not that versed on that part of the,
Hmm.
electricity part and the building part. I've never done a new build from the ground up. We've done rehab, but
Right,
not a new build from the ground up.
right. And I'll check with the folks at Power as well because I know that they build. So they've got a project that they build, or they build homes in Mexico, and then they do power, they do solar on top as a result. So it's kind of like the power version of Habitat for Humanity. I know that's where
Hmm.
it comes from. Only they're adding solar onto it, so we can definitely see. Um, yeah, I'm glad you because it's stoking juices now for folks that I can use as resources or get some ideas. How soon are you looking for completion of the project or start the project? Let's start there.
So we went last year, my husband and I, and we took uh, 12 other people with us, and my mother-in-law was her 23rd time going back. She's
Mm,
not going back anymore. She said that was, too bad on her body and everything.
okay.
But the rest of us are planning on going back June of next year, 2027.
Okay.
So we would love to have it finished by then.
Okay. Okay. Okay.
So
Well, keep
it
me
took
posted.
them
Um,
3 years to build her building. And she's like, what, you see things, why is it taking so long? Because I guess they run out of money and they stop when the money runs out. But,
that
we,
they don't have a mortgage banker like you
no,
to be able to go ahead and finance it.
right. So we can start getting some of the funding in, so they can get started on it. I would love to have it finished by the time we go back. And then we can work on the next project and see what else we can do out there. So the village is called Assessawa. It's about 3 hours from the capital of Accra.
Okay. Is
And
there
so
anything you can send me on that on the school?
is there any what?
Anything you can send me on the school?
Oh yeah, there's a whole documentary I'm going to send you.
Oh, good, 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 good. Okay, now here's my other question. So now, does the Black EXP Network have a project that they support like this?
Not that I know of.
Well, they do now. We're gonna
I would
figure it
love
out.
that. I
Well,
would
let's
love
figure it.
that.
I don't know of anything that they're doing. I mean, so let me be careful because I'm also a realtist. Um, um, a
I was
part
just
of
explaining that to my husband this morning about the
the realtor.
realtor. Yeah, he's a realtor, honey. Oh, he got his
Um,
earphones in. He's not listening.
yeah, but I always ask them like, what are you? So I won't ever fall out with them, but I'm always now mission and impact focused. So
Yes.
we do a lot of, I love, listen, there's nobody that gets together like Black folks. And that was just in Vegas. I told them that if I want to go to Vegas and hang out and party, I could do that anytime. I'm not paying to go hang out with y'all.
I did
What are
that in
you
Puerto Rico with them
Yeah, what are you
a few
getting
years
done?
ago.
Yeah, the Ben Network they were in Puerto Rico. And I was like, I'm not going to Puerto. I mean, I get it. So I'm always a big supporter, but now I need to see stuff getting done.
Yeah, yeah. What are
Like,
you
what
doing
is your
with all that
cause?
money that you're doing, that you're making?
And networking and building relationships is just as important. I'm not even against that. But
Right.
what at the end of the day can you look back on and say, man, I was a part of the organization, or we did this while either I was in office or we did
Hmm.
this to help.
Hmm.
And so I think this is a classic one. Like, okay, why is it that we're not supporting something like this? Because it's
So
education.
I'm gonna bring that up to Damon.
Okay.
I'm gonna bring that up to him once we get everything, in line with what we're doing, and see if they will be a supporter of
Yeah,
that.
because I mean, so I don't mind Puerto Rico, but at Puerto Rico and wherever the next one is, if I can, I'm not going out of the way to spend money I don't have, to go hang out with people I don't know, to do stuff that I don't do. That's just me, and it could be me getting older. But it is who I'm here now. It is like, yeah, I could use that money to do something else. And if I want a cause or I want to spend money like that, I'd much rather give that, because it's gonna cost $2,000, $3,000. I'd love to give that to you and stay at home. Because I don't smoke cigars.
Mm-hmm.
I don't drink a
Mm-hmm.
whole lot like they're drinking. And then I'm not paying 12, 15, $18 for a glass of wine when I do drink. That bothers me. So I keep my
Yeah.
money at home. I'm showing my age like I did before. I'm not
It's
doing that.
okay.
So
I feel the same way with
I would
some of
much
that.
rather do it. I would much rather give, if I could write you a check, for half of that and be at home, then I'd be okay with it.
Sponsor a kid, sponsor a classroom, help them out with because they're so grateful for whatever little bitty things we can give them. They're so grateful for it. I love that.
Yeah, I would love to see that documentary, and so when I roll it
I got
out,
about 3 videos I think I wrote down that I'm gonna send you when we get off of this
okay,
call.
listen. You're gonna be a part of my homework for this week or
You're gonna
this
be like, dang,
weekend.
she sent me another one.
No, I love it, man. I'm looking for cause and I'm looking for impact. Just to be able to really leave something. Again, I was in Atlanta a couple weeks ago. Um, now they were, and people have their own things in Atlanta, and so they had they got a motorcycle club and they got a cigar club and then they
Hmm.
got this club and that club, which I think is really cool because they're networking. But I really I want to I want to leave the impact,
Yeah.
because I want my grandchildren to say, "Hey, my grandpa went to Ghana and was helping this school, and he sent me pictures, or he took me to Ghana,
Hmm.
and we
Hmm.
saw these." So that's really where I
If
am.
you want to come with us, we have I think we got 3 more spots left of people
Oh,
that said
wow.
they were going. And of course, we can always get a bigger bus, but I think I capped it off at 14 just so we could, because we got luggage and all that stuff that has to go on
Hmm.
these buses and stuff. So, but yeah, it was 14 of us that went last year, and we said we would do it every other year. And so yeah, I would love to have you join us. But I
Man.
I just sent you 2 videos. What was the other one? I said I was gonna send you the movie, the nonprofit. Oh, the Dayton video.
Oh
Yeah, the
yeah, your
Dayton
godson.
video.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. All right.
Yeah.
Well, listen, it's been great talking to you. I would
You
love
too.
to,
I'm so glad we connected. It was a reason why, you know,
absolutely, because
been
I am
talking
a
for a reason.
man. I will get on a plane and go. They don't know. I spent. I I had a 14-hour layover on my way to Brazil in Peru, I think it was, and it's international travel, so people are always saying, "Be careful." I'm like, I am not gonna stay in no airport for 14 hours, um,
Right.
while I'm here.
Right.
Uh, and so, yeah, I hit the ground running, trying to figure out. So that's who I am. I love to travel, but now I'm traveling for with purpose and with intention. So that's even more exciting for me.
Okay, cool. Well, it was great talking with you. We've been on this call about an hour, I think.
About an hour, yep. And I'm headed to my next appointment, so I got to get ready to jump on these Southern California freeways. Man, it was great talking
Gotcha.
to you. Man, somebody
Gotcha. You
from
too.
Dayton that's in this thing and understand what we're doing out here, and then making the world a
Maybe
better
we can
place.
do something in Dayton too, kind
Oh
of
my gosh.
revitalize that, do a little co-housing community there. That's what I'm into. I'll send you that video too. That's been in my
Okay.
mind to do co-housing.
Yeah, it's time. It's time. I want to
I
buy that
agree.
whole. I want to buy that. So two things. So they tore Valerie down.
No, I didn't know that.
Yeah,
I didn't go by there last time I went. I went
I
in
want
the
to.
area, but I didn't go look at the
I want to
school.
buy that. That's 13 acres.
So all the
Um,
schools that I've went to are no longer there. Jackson's not there.
no,
Valerie's not there. Patterson's
it's
not
not
there.
there. Yeah. So, but
Darn
I
it.
want to buy that whole thing and do housing there. It's 13 acres. And then
I
I want
want
to
to.
buy the Northwest Plaza where Elder Beerman was, Elder Beerman and Kroger's. Um,
On Salem.
no,
On
Philadelphia
Salem?
and Siebenthaler.
Oh, close to Valerie.
Yeah.
Yeah, 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 yeah. I know what you're
So that's
talking about.
literally, we moved over there when I was 9 or 10 years old. So that's where but it's just, it's still a great neighborhood. It's still quiet, still not a lot going on, but they don't
You can
have
get
any
to
resources there.
everything in 10, 15 minutes. You can go all the way across town in 15 minutes.
Yeah. Yeah. Listen,
And the rush hours, no rush hours. Like,
and no,
what?
I'm so excited when I get there because I know I ain't gonna be late for nothing. I'm gonna be on time for everything. I'm gonna be on time for everything. Listen, we still be trying to get on I-45. For it sometimes it take you 15 minutes to get on the 45.
To get to the highway. But look, we gonna talk.
Okay. Thank you
All
so much,
right.
Vonda. It's great
All
meeting
right.
you. We'll
Thank you.
talk
Good
soon.
luck with everything. All right.
All
Bye
right.
bye.
God bless. Bye bye.
Oh, wow.